So one of my biggest heroes from Scripture as a songwriter, as someone that's a psalmist and a worshiper, is David. You know, David's kind of like the classic example of this incredible and flawed man who was completely honest and vulnerable before God. And that's been something that has revolutionized my life, just the way that he models what it looks like to worship God and walk with God. So check this out. I'm going to read some Psalm 22 to you. This is an amazing psalm. Listen to how it starts. My God, why have you abandoned me? Why are you so far away when I groan for help? Every day I call to you, my God, but you do not answer. And every night I lift my voice, but I find no relief. Now, check that out. David runs into the presence of God, and he's not holding anything back. He's not shying away from telling God what's really going on in his life and the way he feels. So we know, if you study Scripture, that this psalm is a messianic psalm. It's the psalm that Jesus actually begins to quote as he's on the cross. And I want to say to you, my opinion, my belief, is that David wasn't caught up in some extraordinary prophetic moment and saw Jesus on the cross and began to blurt out these words. I think that David was just being completely honest with God. And because of who David was, that David was a prophet, that he was prophesying because he was being himself. Listen to what it goes on to say next. Yet you are holy, and you are enthroned on the praises of Israel. Our ancestors trusted in you, and you rescued them. They cried out to you and were saved. They trusted in you, and they were never disgraced. And then he goes back, but I'm just a worm, not even a man. And it's like you see this song and dance. David, he comes into God's presence saying, God, this is how I'm feeling. God, why have you left me alone? Then he says, but I remember you are the one that's holy. You're the one that's enthroned. And then he back, but God, I'm like nothing. I'm nothing. But then he goes back. But I want you to listen to how this psalm actually ends. It ends by David saying to God, it says, the whole earth will acknowledge the Lord and return to him. And all the families of the nations will bow down before him. For royal power belongs to the Lord. He rules all the nations. Let the rich of the earth feast and worship. Bow before him, all who are mortal, all whose lives will end as dust. Our children will serve him. Future generations will hear about the wonders of the Lord, and his righteous acts will be told to those not yet born. They will hear about everything he has done. So David starts off in this place of honesty and authenticity before God, and he begins to remind himself, yet you are holy, yet you are enthroned. And then it's like this back and forth dance. But something shifts in that place for David. Eventually, in that place of honesty and authenticity before God, he gets the revelation of what's actually happening. And you see that at the end, where he actually makes this incredible proclamation that all the nations of the earth are going to worship and all generations are going to proclaim his goodness. And I want to suggest to you that if we come before God with a heart of honesty, transparency, humility, and be real with what's going on, but stay in the game and stay reminding ourselves of who God is, that we actually position ourselves to see heaven's perspective. Bless you guys.